Ngayon, Sir Alan, kasama na po natin sa studio ang ating guest. Ngayong umaga, siya po ang PDEA spokesperson, si Sir Derrick.
Carreon.
Carreon.
Okay.
Sorry po, ayan. Si PDEA spokesperson, Director Derrick Carreon. Magandang umaga po, Sir Derrick.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Derrick.
Umaga po on behalf of our Director General, Isidro S. La Peña.
Yeah, at welcome of course dito sa Radyo Vision, sa Media ng Bayan. Okay, siguro bilang panimula, no, maraming mga nagtatanong, halimbawa, meron tayong PDEA, nandiyan ang regular na mga regular na law enforcement agencies, police, ano.
Yes,
But give us an overview, Derek, please. Pag sinabing PDEA, ano ang pinakamandato ng ahensyang ito, please?
Yes, sir. Sa ilalim po ng Republic Act 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, PDEA is the lead agency. So, ibig sabihin po, all other law enforcement agencies who conduct operations against illegal drugs have to seek coordination with PDEA. So, we harmonize all the drug law enforcement efforts of other law enforcement agencies in the country. Of course, nandiyan po yung mga main partners natin are the Philippine National Police and the National Bureau of Investigation. We also have the Bureau of Customs.
Yes.
And even the Armed Forces of the Philippines when it comes to areas or critical areas where we need their support po. And we also partner with the Bureau of Immigration, especially if we're dealing with a lot of members of transnational drug trafficking organizations.
Radyong-radyo ang dating ni Derek. Ano? Kita mo naman, ha? Di ba? Oo.
Dinaig pa tayo sa laki ng boses.
Laking radyo ho kasi
Yan.
ako.
Oo. Okay, so given this situation, pero maliban doon sa binabanggit mo na iba-ibang mga law enforcement agencies,
Yes,
ano?
sir.
Kayo ba ngayon, kasi noong mga nagdaang mga interviews natin, binabanggit nyo na iilan lamang yung mga organic personnel ng PDEA
Opo.
na involved talaga sa mga anti-illegal drugs operations.
Yes, sir.
Kumusta tayo sa aspetong yun? We understand na patuloy naman na pinayagan ang recruitment ninyo ng mga operatiba. Anong latest dito?
Yes, sir. From the original 866 drug enforcement officers under the present OSSP ng ating ahensya, mapalad po tayong nabigyan ng karagdagang mahigit 300 po. So it's around 320.
Okay.
In fact, the ninth batch of drug enforcement officers or PDEA agents will be taking their oath tomorrow, Wednesday po. Wednesday ng umaga sa Camp Castañeda because our training facility is co-located inside the Camp Mariano Castañeda po, which is the PNPA Academy in Silang,
Yes.
Cavite.
Silang. Oo.
Paano ba, ano ba ang kailangan para maging isang PDEA agent?
Opo. The basic qualifications, ma'am, sir, are must be a graduate of any 4-year baccalaureate degree. Minimum po yun. And must be either a civil service professional eligible or a board passer. Because under Republic Act 1080, you are automatically conferred a professional eligibility. We also welcome members of the Philippine Bar if there are any, but eventually they have the option to seek a higher item as attorneys or as lawyers in the agency. They must also be at least 21 to not more than 35 upon the age of taking oath. Must be physically and mentally fit, of course, kasi may 6 months rigid training po na susunod doon. And they must qualify on every level of the screening process, which is from the qualifying exams to the neuropsychiatric exams, a full medical and dental check-up before they move on to the agility test, and finally the panel interview.
Alam ko napakahirap na gumawa ng isang operation, lalo na ito, may kinalaman sa illegal na droga. Gano'ng ka-active ngayon ang PDEA given na talagang mismo ating mahal na Pangulo may suporta upang labanan ito?
Very active po ngayon ang ating ahensya, Sir Ma'am, especially since yun nga nabanggit niyo po, kasama sa plataforma de gobierno ni Presidente Rodrigo Roa Duterte. In fact, one of his main flagship programs is to eradicate illegal drugs, crime, and corruption within 3 to 6 months. So that being said, talagang very active po ang role natin. Bagamat kailangan, Sir, Ma'am, focused because as we said, in comparison to our counterparts from the Philippine National Police and the Armed Forces, we are similar in strength to the NBI. So kailangan po dito focus tayo sa high-value targets and the conduct of high-impact operations so that yung mga ahente po natin will focus on making a dent in the illegal drug trade wherever the area of responsibility is. Like, we have regional offices din po kasi nationwide. In fact, I just came fresh from a regional office deployment. I spent over a year in Region 2 in Cagayan Valley. So ganun po, ganun ang trabaho natin. We really focus on going in tandem with the local police and NBI and all other law enforcement and even other government and non-government agencies po. Because as already mentioned, Sir Ma'am, this is a war that cannot be won just merely by making arrests and conducting all these searches and encouraging people to surrender. But this is about a whole of government approach to win hearts and minds and to show them that we are really serious in addressing the problem and its source as well.
Sa pagsisimula po ng administrasyon ngayon, ilan na po ba yung operasyon na nagawa niyo at yung nasa bata? Tama po ba yung ano po?
Nasawata.
Nasawata na droga ngayon.
Gusto ko lang pong maligaya po kaming mag-uulat na within the first 31 days of President Rodrigo Duterte's administration, we have actually confiscated a total volume of worth of 2 billion or 2.594 billion pesos worth of dangerous drugs.
Ganun kalaki, ha?
In 1 month, sir, ma'am. And if you want to put this in juxtaposition with the accomplishment, with due respect, of course, to the effort that we have had in the previous year, for calendar year 2015 po, from January to December, ang total worth po na nakumpiska ng drug law enforcement authorities or agencies is 2.86 billion. So, ibig sabihin po pala, sir, ma'am, pwede. Talagang lalong masigasig ngayon dahil nga po ang pakiramdam po ng naming lahat in the side of law enforcement is we have a strong leader and we have not just a president, but we have strong leaders na masasandalan po namin while doing our mandate.
Yes.
So this is exactly what even the chief of the PNP, Police Director General Ronald De La Rosa, has said several times over. Wonder no more why there is a reinvigorated drive or a revitalized effort on the part of all law enforcement agencies to do this. Dahil nga po alam natin na may masasandalan tayo while doing our mandate. Of course, everything, before other people even start speculating, everything always within the purview of the law. Always po yung rule of law. Baka akala nila bara-bara na lang tayong babanat ng operation. Hindi po ganun. The marching orders to our Director General Isidro S. La Peña and even to the PNP and the NBI is always within the bounds of law.
Yes.
And as per Secretary Andor, ito pa lang daw unang yugto or unang phase pa lang ng laban ng administration.
Yes, ma'am.
Malaki-laki pa ba ang ating lalabanan o marami-rami?
Opo, ma'am. The challenge is after this first 3 to 6 months phase na sinabi pong intensive and very aggressive anti-drug operations is to sustain the effort.
Yes, of
by
course.
curtailing the demand for dangerous drugs, by continuing our drug awareness, drug abuse prevention and control programs, by reaching out to the communities and establishing community-based rehabilitation and anti-drug programs that will keep people away from yung illegal drug trade to destroy the interest in being involved in the illegal drug trade. At makikita po rito, nilalatag na po in fact in several meetings that we have had sa Dangerous Drugs Board, which is the 17 government agency policy-making body with the Director General of PDEA sitting as one of the members as well, sir. Sinasabi na po rito, it's not just about making the arrests, but we're going to lay down livelihood programs for those who say na, who claim that they have been compelled to join the illegal drug trade dahil nga po sila'y nagipit. And with
Kumbaga
no other
naging source of income nila, parang ganon.
Oo, sir. But of course, we all know that the end, basic moral law says, the end does not justify the means. Ibig sabihin, ako po, marami tayong nakikita riyan na nagtsatsagang mamuhay ng marangal, nangangalakal pa nga, para lang po mamuhay.
Correct.
Here you go out on national TV claiming na pantawid gutom ho namin. Naku, Diyos ko po, nakakatakot isipin.
Yes.
Nakakatakot po.
Okay. Ngayon, ang droga ay may tuturing na hindi lang problema sa Pilipinas, kundi sa maraming bansa. And of
sir.
course,
Yes, sir.
dahil dito, nandiyan yung napapag-usapan na ang Pilipinas ay maaaring isang transshipment point
Yes, sir.
sa dinadaanan. Kumusta ang koordinasyon ng PDEA with their counterparts, let's say dito sa mga neighbors natin sa Southeast Asia?
At salamat, sir, nabanggit niyo yan. In fact, if only to refresh the memory of our kababayan, so, sa mga nakikinig po at nanonood ngayon, ang main threat sources po ng ating illegal drug trade are mainly transnational drug trafficking organizations led by the Chinese and Taiwanese who undertake both manufacturing and smuggling. African drug syndicates employ drug couriers. In fact, may infomercial campaign ho tayo dati regarding that dahil nabibiktima yung mga nainganyo magpadala or magdala ng droga sa ibang bansa in the guise of foreign travel and all that. And of course, we have the Mexican Sinaloan drug trafficking organizations who partner with the Chinese and Taiwanese drug trafficking groups in order to move their product dito from the Western Hemisphere. And so tama ho kayo, sir, kailangan talaga ng close interaction with our foreign counterparts. Just recently, this past week, nanggaling po sa ASEAN Senior Officials on Drug Matters Conference, si Director General Isidro S. La Peña. And by tomorrow, we will be conducting our own local Director General's meeting with foreign counterparts. And we're talking about police and drug law enforcement attachés from the different embassies of the foreign counterparts in the Philippines. At kasama na rin ho dyan, probably, if not the attachés, not less than the charge d'affaires or the ambassador will even appear. Like, for instance po sa Mexico, napaka-active po ng Mexican counterparts natin sa pagsuporta sa ating kampanya. And this is why, sir, we have even crafted memoranda of agreements with different counterparts from Indonesia, from Mexico we have, and even with the United States. One of our main partners in conducting operations po is the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, after whom the PDEA was actually patterned. Yes, sir.
Sir, matanong ko lang, nitong nakaraan nasa lang kayo sa Senate hearing.
Opo.
And there, natuklasan natin na even yung mga kabataan, menor de edad,
Opo.
nadadawit dito sa droga. Sa inyo po bang pagsisimula ng PDEA operations, ilan na bang kabataan yung included?
May talaan ho tayo rito. I'm trying to look for the figure, but if I may give a stratum on the age range ng
Sige,
ano po.
yan. Age range.
Age range na lang ho kasi medyo yung hinanap ko yung graph kanina medyo it was buried somewhere in my data. The youngest po is about 6 years old.
Oh, wow.
Anong role nitong
oo
6-year-old nito?
Yan sir, yung mga bata syempre unsuspecting yan nauutusan, napag-uutusan.
Taga-abot, mga ganun.
Napag-uutusan. Siyempre, may bata, inuuto mo. Iho, bigyan kita ng 50. Pakidala ito dun. Ibigay mo dun o kaya ilapag mo lang dun sa isang sulok dyan.
May kukuha na ron.
Umalis ka na. Di, bata, anong malay naman po ng bata. But sadly, if after debriefing many of them, bandang huli, by force of habit, pag paulit-ulit na sila na pag-utusan ganun, eventually, sir, ma'am, you'll find out yung bata alam na pala.
Naku. Anong ginagawa niyo sa mga na-arrestong menor de edad?
Ano po yan, ma'am, under the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act or Republic Act 9344, they are turned over to the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Not unless talagang ma-establish natin na there's discernment, especially if the arrested minor will be somewhere within the range of 15 above. Naku po. Minsan po, hindi na natin. Kaya nga po, tama lang yung thrust ng Department of Education to really focus on drug education and drug awareness as early as the intermediate grades, in fact.
Yes.
Realizing that we have arrested minors aging to 6, siguro dapat medyo babaan pa lalo.
Bahala na yun
Baka simulan natin siguro sa kahit alcohol and tobacco awareness at a younger age, because sometimes these are gateways to other forms of substance abuse.
Yes.
Opo, but it's very alarming, ma'am. And then in startling contrast, sir, the 6 yung pinakabata. Then we have arrests of senior citizens aging up to 78.
Naandun pa din.
Ayun.
In fact, in previous operations in the past years, we've even seen a whole family with the patriarch himself leading the illegal drug trade, and then the children are part of the whole trade itself, and they use their house or its adjoining structures as the drug den or drug tiangge. Ay, nakakatakot ho ito.
Okay, going back yung mga minor de edad na
Yes, sir.
na-aresto, na huhuli dito sa anti-illegal drugs operations, hanggang saan ang responsibilidad ng mga magulang para dito o pananagutan ng mga magulang kung sakaling maa-aresto, mahuhuli yung mga anak nila na minor de edad?
Ayan, magandang tanong ho yan, sir. Because as of the moment, di ba, marami pong nangyayaring ganyan na yung magulang sinasabi. Hindi, pinagsasabihan namin. Pero nandyan, palaboy-laboy. In fact, among the current thrusts po, and we appreciate the efforts of local government units like, for instance, in Mandaluyong.
Yes.
Nasimulan na po yan, may ordinansa na kapag ang bata, paulit-ulit na nahuhuli sa kalsadang ganito, magkakaroon na ng criminal responsibility, liability yung magulang.
Ang parents.
Yes, definitely
Of course.
po. Dapat kasi, what are you doing? Why are you allowing your child to be loitering on the streets ng this oras and then nagagamit na bandang huli nitong mga sindikatong ito?
Correct.
Tama po yan. We support that. In fact, I think it's high time that a national legislation should be made regarding this, emphasizing the role of the parents and the parental responsibility in supporting not just the anti-illegal drug campaign, but in all other forms of social problems or crimes. Kasi nga, sir, naaabuso po kasi pag nakita ng sindikato na mahuli man yan, pakakawalan yan. Wala tayong problema. They won't even point to us, takot yung bata. Pero abuso na nga po.
At saka ang point no, napaka-vulnerable nitong mga kabataan
Wala
natin.
silang
di ba?
alam talaga sa ginagawa nila.
And then imagine po, makagisnan nila ito. ay easy money pala ito.
Yes.
Nakakatakot po, nakakabahala.
Yes.
So
Sir,
it's
alam
high
kayo na
time.
nabanggit ni Sir Derrick Carreon, yung role naman ng communities natin, aside from yung line agencies, kamusta na ba yung role ng ating community? And I understand meron kayong private eye na may
Yes,
mga
ma'am.
nagsusuplong talaga.
Yes, ma'am. We are encouraging our citizens to report to Operation Private Eye. Mamaya nga po, medyo hihilingin ko po na ibigay natin yung mga hotlines natin.
Yes, please,
For the
oh.
purpose of giving information. But yes, the reward system under Operation Private Eye is real. And this is focused on high-value targets and high-impact operations, particularly the arrest of members of transnational drug groups or drug trafficking organizations. And dismantling of clandestine shabu laboratories or yung imbakan po ng chemical for the shabu labs and marijuana plantation sites. So and high volume of confiscations. Like for instance, when I was still in Cagayan, in June 23 there was prior to the assumption of the present administration, meron na po tayo doon buy bust operation combined the police and PDEA where a barangay chairman was arrested with 30 kilograms together with his henchmen po. These are examples of projects that warrant the grant of a monetary reward to the informant. Under Operation Private Eye. In fact, fortunately po recently, the Dangerous Drugs Board has also come up with its own counterpart board resolution allowing the grant of monetary rewards to law enforcers as well. But that's
Of course.
a separate measure po para maganahan din ang mga alagad ng batas. And din napakaganda po ng kasalukuyang programa sa ilalim nitong ating mahal na Pangulo upang talagang ganahan po yung talagang maging mas masigla ang kampanya laban sa krimen at sa illegal na droga because there will be corresponding rewards and it will make apart from yung thrust po niya na pataasan ng benefit packages or salaries and other benefits for law enforcement officers
Yes.
upang manghinayang po ang kahit sino man na mapasali pa dito sa illegal na industriya. Dahil nakikita naman po natin, with the continuous cleansing of ranks, even in our side, marami na po na-identify na mga involved sa illegal drug trade na mga kabaro natin. This is very sad. And, well, of course, it's not a justification to say mababa ang sahod. Bakit po tayo pumasok sa gobyerno kung balak natin palang yung sahod lang ang habol? Ganun talaga. Ngunit, it's a welcome development now na talagang if you're in service, manghihinayang ka na gumawa ng kabulastugan dahil nga nandyan na po at makikita nyo, inaayos na yung benefit packages natin.
Ayan. Kanina, Derrick, you mentioned na may mga special hotlines itong Private Eye. Mas magiging siguro may anunsyo at para yung mga kababayan natin ay makatulong, maging katuwang natin sa pagbibigay ng mga impormasyon
Ito po.
sa PDEA para sama-sama nating malabanan. Ika nga, itong salot na illegal na droga.
Kailangan maging
Yes, sir.
proactive din talaga ang ating
Yes,
community sa paglaban.
Thank you, Sir Ma'am. With the permission po of our honorable hosts, ito po yung mga text hotlines natin. For smart subscribers, it's 0999-888-7332. That's 0999-888 PDEA. And then for Sun subscribers, it's 0925-573 PDEA. That's 573-7332. And for Globe, ito lang po yung hindi PDEA ang ending. It's 0927-915-0616.
Ayan.
And then yung kung landline naman po ang gamit ninyo,
landline, yes.
ito po, 920-0735 and 920-0736.
Okay. Ngayon, na-announce yung hotlines.
Hotline.
2 puntos. Yung isang individual, halimbawa, na gustong magsumbong.
Yes.
At totoo naman yung kanyang sinusumbong. Siyempre, nandyan yung pangamba ng iba nating mga kababayan.
Oo.
Baka makilala ako, baka mabalikan ako. Paano ba ang treatment ng PDEA sa ganitong mga bagay?
In fact, nilagay po yan ng ating
Sitwasyon.
director. Yes, nilagay po yan ng ating Director General sa kanyang Facebook account. All information, of course, subject to validation, are
course.
treated with utmost confidentiality. Huwag ko kayong mabahala. Dahil hindi namin ititrace yung tawag para malaman kung sino yung nagbigay. Talagang importante ho doon yung impormasyon. And it will be subjected to the intelligence cycle.
Yun.
Ano ho yan of course, kami nananawagan together with other national government agencies. Pag mula nung na-establish po yung 911 emergency system, ang panawagan din is please no prank calls. This is no laughing matter. Abay, may problema na po ang ating bansa sa illegal na droga. Parang awan nyo na, huwag nyo naman gawin biro, nagtatawag kayo or just for purposes of mangistorbo sa kapwa, kung sino-sino lang i-report ninyo. Ito po idadaan namin sa masusing validation process under what we call the intelligence process or the intelligence cycle.
Ayun.
So definitely, ano po ito, everything will be properly validated. And of course, as I said, it's treated with utmost confidentiality po. At saka sir, may automatic response system ho ito.
Okay.
Para kung if it's a street level concern, it will be immediately forwarded to the nearest police station. But if it involves members of local and international drug groups, then definitely it will be under the purview of PDEA or the Philippine National Police Anti-Illegal Drug Group or the NBI. Magsasanib puwersa po kami dyan.
Ayun.
Sakto sa araw ng mga bayani.
Oo.
Dito ka
Maging
maging
bayani
bayani.
ang bawat isa.
Yes.
But over and above po yung sinasabi nga nating reward, nananawagan ho kami, Sir Ma'am. Itong problema po ng illegal na droga has been hounding us for as long as I can remember. Sir, in fact, nagkakabiroan kanina tungkol sa... happy birthday nga pala, sir.
Thank you.
Nagkakabiroan kanina tungkol sa edad. Ako, martial law baby ho ako eh.
Okay.
I was born exactly at the same year, the same year when the first dangerous drugs law was enacted in 1972, which gave rise to the first anti-drug unit back then. Yung ama ko po ay member din ng Philippine Constabulary. And he was with the Criminal Investigation Service, what is now the CIDG. Ang counterpart naman nila sa droga was the CANU under then General Felix. Imagine, sir, gaano katagal na ho nag-evolve itong problema ng illegal na droga. From the time na na-enact yung drug law, 1972, which is the Dangerous Drugs Act of 1972, hanggang ngayon may droga pa rin. Abay, maawa ho kayo sa bansa natin. It is just one of our main problems. Huwag na ho tayo magbiroan at huwag tayong magpatumpik-tumpik dahil I'm 44, so kaedad ko yung drug law. Pwera pa yung problema po. Siguro it has been there before that.
Before that.
So please, magtulungan ho tayo because this problem is not just the problem of government, not just the problem of law enforcement. It's everybody's problem.
Yeah.
So,
Sir, last question na mention
Yes,
nyo na, even in your side, on your side, may dawit dito sa illegal na gamot. Meron kayong drug test din sa inyong hanay?
yes, ma'am. Katatapos ho namin last Monday, exactly a week ago, sir, ma'am, after the flag raising ceremony. There are surprise drug tests conducted on us, not just once a year. When I was a regional director, I do our drug tests on our men on a random basis, minsan every week or every 2 weeks. If only.
Ganun kadalas, ha?
Opo, sir. Hindi baling
Dapat ganun, sa lahat.
gumastos tayo sa drug testing
Basta
kit.
sigurado
but
lang.
Only to ensure na wala akong maririnig na, huli kayo ng huli, ang tao nyo mismo, adik. Ang tao nyo mismo, ganito, nagtutulak. Sabi ko, time and again, we keep saying po, just because we are the ones sworn to uphold the law and enforce the law, does not give us the license to violate that very law that we are sworn to uphold and enforce. Hindi biro ho ito. It requires moral ascendancy.
Of course.
Paano ho maniniwala ang taong bayan sa atin? Kung mismo ikaw sabihin, ikaw tulak ka rin eh. Ako, nakakahiya.
So, ano naging result nung Monday?
Fortunately, Sir Ma'am, we are proud to report that under the present leadership of our Director General Isidro S. La Peña, the first national drug test in our national headquarters yielded 100% negative.
Oy, congratulations.
Dito pa lang po ito, no? Dito pa lang. And we are, thank you po. We're replicating the effort in our regional offices and we are hoping na ito po, maniwala sila dahil yun nga po, time and again I keep saying, we have a strong president, strong heads of agencies enforcing this law. We have to take this seriously.
Okay.
Alright.
Nako, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very
Si
much
Director Derrick Carreon, ang tagapagsalita po ng PDEA, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, sir. On behalf
this
of
morning.
Director General Isidro S. La Peña, mabuhay po tayo. Happy Heroes Day po sa lahat.
Thank you.
God bless po.
Okay.
Thank you po, Sir Derrick Carreon.
Ako po si Cathy San Gabriel. Subscribe na sa PTV YouTube channel. I-click lang po ang subscribe button.